I'm great, you big lorry driver. Big sexy lorry driver.
What is it you call people with lorry?
He is a big sexy lorry driver, I can confirm.
Lot lizards or something, isn't it?
No. That's Hannah. Hannah's the lot lizard.
That would be me in a lorry car.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the lot? I thought that was lorry drivers. What is it?
No.
What
Is that what you've been calling your lorry driver friends?
Oh, I fucking hope so. I hope
You're
so.
going to get your head taken off.
I've never actually used the term anywhere apart from around Johnny.
Gets on the old CB radio and says, "Hey there, all my lot lizards out there. How we doing today?"
Oh, we've missed you, Johnny.
It feels like you've been gone for ages.
I have.
It's been gone as long as Spurs haven't played well. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Hotspur Way, Season 1, Episode 33. Now, because Josh wants us to do things differently, we're now going to turn to Josh. What?
Entirely what I said.
Well, I mean, I had a script going, but you've just interrupted me, which is perfect. And we're going to go over to Josh now in Portsmouth, and he's going to tell us what's going to happen on this show. So, go on.
Okay, so today we have the game against Wolves. What's going wrong? Why is our defence so fucking useless at the moment? When was the last great game you actually saw us play? 2 weeks off, and any other business.
You missed out the last bit.
I know, that's not really... That's
He did
not
that on
really though,
purpose.
isn't it?
Yeah, you just didn't want to say your name, Hannah. I think that's what it is.
Say my name.
Did you just mute me?
No, we don't need to.
Go on,
my whole
please.
mic just went like silent in my ears. I got really confused.
That's the gods, because you didn't say my name.
Zapping me.
So I think that we should get into the game straight away. Actually, I'll tell you what. Before we do that, Hannah and Josh, you actually met each other for the first time,
Yes.
and the pictures were lovely. Hannah made some new friends. Josh lost some. You met
I'm now
Ere.
friendless.
Yeah. You met Ere, and he looks like exactly what I thought he would be like.
What a boy, by
There
the
was
way.
also another Ere Levy post as well. Another, was it purple and gold post? That went... It didn't take long to start stirring anger within the masses.
So, what is the big man like?
Yep.
He's a big guy. He's taller than me.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Too far,
I was actually talking to Hannah and asking her to explain what you're like, but I mean, if you want to talk about another man, mate, it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I take that back if we're talking about Josh.
What's going on? Who's throwing?
Oh, that was my phone. I plugged it in and then it fell off. It fell.
Right, okay.
He got upset because of what I said.
So what's Ere like then?
He's
Well, I've
lovely.
met him before, so you can answer.
Yeah, really nice man. Exactly how I thought. Just, he's very funny, very witty. He's got lovely skin.
You love.
I could go on.
Look, I've said that he should be like a permanent fixture at Hotspur Way, and Hannah, teacher, you need to do your business, because he was on, but he phoned it in literally on the last one. This time, I think we need him on properly.
Sure.
And,
Didn't you actually speak to him about it when we were there? But he's only got his phone, isn't he?
I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. I had a lot of alcohol, so I can't really remember what I said.
Oh, okay. You did ask him to come on permanently, and he did
That was
say
me.
he's only got his phone.
Brilliant. There we go.
So how was it?
Useful.
How was it? Other than meeting up and seeing the guys and everything, what was it like? Like, what were the vibes like when you were there? Did it feel like
weren't any.
Yeah, but
There weren't any.
like on the TV, Johnny, you tell me what it felt like, because I think me and you watched the same feed. Mate, what was it like when you were watching it? Like, did you sense that there was really bad atmosphere?
It felt dead to me in the stadium, yeah, a bit. The funny thing is that in the game versus Everton, the whole second half, I felt like we for some reason I felt we got this. Like, it's going to happen. We have it. It's coming in the bag. It's coming. I couldn't tell you what it was, why it was, but it just felt like it was there. The electricity, the way that the players were linking up, something was there. This match against the Wolves, it wasn't. It just never clicked.
Against
Nothing
what, sorry?
clicked. Huh?
You went against the Wolves.
The
Wolves.
The Wolves. You know, Josh, I'm American. I don't know if you know that. I put the in front of everything. I put the in front of everything, and I pluralize everything as well. So when I'm on the podcasts, no, honestly,
Josh...
this match, it just didn't feel like the electricity wasn't there the same way it was last week.
I felt the same.
Yeah.
I thought that it was a bit flat. And you know what? Since Conte days, I was in the old man's pub with my shisha watching it. I actually got out my phone and started playing a game. And I haven't done that since watching Conte's football, or whatever you want to call it. Shouldn't call it football. I just thought we're going sideways. We're not doing anything, and I can't see us getting into this game. They had our number every time we went forward. They just sort of knew what to do. Right, so in the stands, you two were there. What was it like?
It was dead. It was flat. There wasn't... The only time there was probably a bit of atmosphere was probably the 5-10 minutes after we scored. Otherwise, it was just getting on players' backs and just you just hear like murmuring around the stadium and stuff. Just all sorts. There's a guy sat behind us just piling in on Richarlison constantly. And yeah, it was just... There wasn't any atmosphere, like I said, apart from that 10 minutes into the second half when we scored. Otherwise, yeah, it's just flat, dead. Those immaculate vibes I were promised weren't there.
No.
Yeah, Hannah, you were... I think at some point, did you just leave the stands and go down for a drink and stay there?
No, I mean, we went at half time.
Oh.
Early.
The normal time.
Yeah, but no, Josh is right. It was flat. I'm pretty loud when we go, but it just... I don't know, there was just no energy there. I don't think anyone was convinced in the performance.
You almost felt
said,
because where it was so flat, you almost felt stupid, like shouting because it was so quiet.
Exactly. It was that was really poor, actually. And yeah, like you said, James, they just worked this out. So you couldn't. It's like people couldn't back us because it's like you kind of knew what was going to happen. It was all very predictable. So it wasn't worth getting excited about almost, which is a real shame.
Yeah, I'd say the main thing was the drop off from Porro and Udogie to Royale and Davis is ridiculous. It's like falling off a cliff.
But
and
do you think, Josh, that maybe we'd all convinced ourselves of that before the game, and maybe that had a part to play in the atmosphere?
I don't think Emerson helped either, did he?
Well, no, he was bollocks, but
Yeah.
But I think maybe we had all kind of got in our own heads before the game because of that.
Yeah, where the system we play is so heavily reliant on those two particular players, when they're not there, it sort of just doesn't work. Which I suppose Ange there and say, why is there no plan B? Like, if you haven't got the key players for that particular style of play, why can you not switch to something else? Why are you so one-dimensional? But I do love Ange, and I feel bad hating on him. Not that I hate him.
Can I say something about Plan A, Plan B, and all of this stuff?
No, sorry.
All right, so I'll go ahead then. And maybe Johnny, you can help me out here with what I'm about to say. I'll say it, and then because look, the thing is, I'm talking as it's coming into my mind, right? Because you just said something there, and something came to my mind. So when I'm working, or when any of us are working, right? If you need to get something done, you do it, and you normally have a way of doing certain things, right? And I understand that football may be slightly different, but if you have a way of doing certain things and then the tools at your disposal for some reason aren't there, then you still try and get on with it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, the outcome might not be the same, but you get on with it. Now, this plan A, B, and C, and all of this. Look at the top teams in the world. Do they have a plan A? Like, if I want to look at City, I don't see them having a plan A and a plan B. I take a look at Liverpool.
What I'd say of City, though, their strength in depth doesn't mean they need a plan B. They can just carry on going the way they're going, regardless of who they put in that starting 11.
But I don't. I mean, I used to go to City quite a lot when Pep first joined, and he didn't change the way he played at all. He just continued doing what he was doing, and it was weird. I was there at his first game in 2016, and it was weird because he had dropped Hart, and we were behind the goal before the game had started, and Hart was in goal. Then we heard, he's dropped, and he gave everyone a wave, and off he went, and the goalkeeper started to play short passes. We had never seen this before in England. To play short passes and to do some crazy stuff and put his whole team under pressure. And Pep persisted and he carried on and he didn't care. Yeah, they didn't. I think they finished 4th that season, if I'm not mistaken. And they continued going. And what I'm trying to say here is that the top teams, that it's not about, well, we're going to adjust our game because of you. We have a way that we play. And right now, let's not forget that Ange is 6 months. Is it 6 months? When did he join? He joined sometime in June. So he's 8 months. He's 8 months, right? Well, 1st of July, I think, was his first official day. So he's 7 months and, 20 days in. Now, if you're really like into a project, or you're just starting into a project and because you've got experience, maybe working for other employers, that this is the way you do things and in the end you'll get it right, then yeah, you might have people in the boardroom saying, oh God, what's going on here? It's not working out. It was working out, now it's not. Do we get a bit jittery? Johnny, have I sort of explained myself a bit, or should I say it again?
No, I understand what you're saying. I think I somewhat agree. It's human nature is just you become as flexible as possible to get the shit done that you need to get done. We don't faff about. We just get it done. So I understand what you're saying. And when we don't have the pieces in place, or we think we don't have the pieces in place, it's more difficult to get the job done. But yeah, I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah, and is that Josh?
Watching?
That wasn't me.
He's watching TikTok again.
Someone's watching TikTok. Was it you?
It wasn't me.
No,
my phone is on.
That was me.
Oh,
thank you.
Right.
But I wasn't watching TikTok. I unlocked my phone and I'd left it on.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have listened to any podcasts recently, but there's quite a few of the people on the podcast that they like to call themselves panelists, which I find really weird. But they like to say that maybe Ange needs to change the way he plays. I don't see. I mean, we've said this before, right, Johnny? What would happen if you've drilled your team to play a certain way for so long, and you've told them this is how we play, and not just them, you've told everyone, including the tea lady, this is how we do things, and then at the first sign of things starting to go wrong, you go, oh, maybe guys, we should do it another way. What happens to the respect that buffer of respect those people under you have for you or had for you? Johnny, over to you.
You lose respect. You lose buy-in, which is even in my book even greater than respect, because somebody can hate your guts, but if they don't buy your system, then you're gone. So you lose buy-in, you lose respect, you lose their motivation, you lose their, you look like a man that doesn't know what he's doing, a man that goes back on his word. By man, of course, I mean human, not testicles. So you just can't do that. I mean, it goes in sports, it goes in business, it goes in all aspects of life, just in relationships. If you go back on your word and you change your system just because there's some challenges, adjustment is one thing, changing systems is another. You can adjust, you can make, you can change things midstream, but if you completely rewrite the book, if you falter again after rewriting the book, then you're fucked. And I think Ange knows that most importantly. He just seems like he's the kind of guy who sticks to his guns. He doesn't waver. Even if it doesn't work, I think he's just like, well, we tried it my way, and oh well, that's the way I play.
Exactly, Hannah. What do you think?
Yes, it's philosophy, isn't it? He's trying to embed that, and they've got to trust him, and he's got to trust them. So I think it's just going to take time. I know that the fan base is quite impatient,
Quite.
But yeah, I say quite. Oh, sorry, I was trying to be diplomatic, but yeah, I think everything you said is spot on. To be honest, you got to back yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, and it unfortunately looks like our Spurs supporters are starting to wane a bit. So, for instance, from the lane at the Kitchen King 4, he said, we've got quite a few questions, so thanks for sending him in. He didn't say that, I've just said that. So he said, is the manager or squad more important for top 4? Just asking, as Villa have a better manager, but we have a better squad. Josh or Hannah, who wants to answer that one?
Josh, you can go.
I think it's... I don't know. It's not really a right or wrong answer there, is there? I mean, the squad can carry you. I mean, look at United. They have you can't see any passive style of play there, but their squad and players are carrying them there. Like Højlund, his 2 goals were ridiculously lucky against Luton. They had no passive style of play at all against Luton, and they could manage to somehow squeeze through. You can see our style of play, but we still lost. I mean, it's different because a manager can carry you through with a crap team, or a great team can carry a crap manager. It's subjective, I think.
But to Josh, I would say that you're right. Where a crap players can carry a crap manager. Or, I'm sorry, good players can carry a crap manager, and vice versa. In the short term, in the long term, I don't think that's the case. Pep is a good manager. He has good players, right? Ange is a good manager. We're still trying to get good players in. So I think the impatience that our fan base has is nauseating. I mean, it's there's 2 things. First off, I dislike it when somebody says that Man City bought the league or bought they paid for it, whatever, however you want to put it. Because you still have to have all the pieces in place. You still have to have a front office that knows what the fuck they're doing. You still have to have a manager that knows what the fuck they're doing, and you still have to have players that are good. All of those pieces have to exist, and they have to exist in an ethos that loves whatever you're selling them. So you can't just bring in, big dick talent and you just fucking, let's start getting some trophies in. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. You can ask big businesses if it works that way, and they're going to tell you you're an idiot. And then secondly,
look at Man United in the last few years.
Yeah,
for Casemiro, Sancho, Anthony, and all that's gone down the toilet.
Yeah, and they're highly successful, aren't they? Oh wait, no. And then the other piece is that a while back, this is maybe last year at some point. There was a piece, the Athletics podcast. They were talking about managers and their importance on the squad and winning and everything like that. And I didn't know any of this, obviously, because I'm new to the game of football. But I guess before, I can't remember the date, but more recently, managers are kind of a newer thing in the game itself. Is that correct? Newer in a sense, like 20, 30 years ago, they weren't really as forefront in the game as they are now. They were just more conditioning and kind of just that kind of thing.
I'd say there's a lot more cameras on them as well now.
Yeah.
There are a lot more in the light.
Yeah, so
more of them.
I can sort of answer that one because I had listened to a podcast. This was years and years ago, maybe 15 years ago, and they spoke about this. And it was when they were talking about Alex Ferguson. It was I can't remember who it was even from. Maybe it was from the BBC or something, where they were talking about when he had officially resigned in 2000 or 2001, but then decided to go against it. And they said that what you've said now, Johnny, is sort of right, that there were just a few managers at the time in the 60s. For instance, Bill Nick, Shankly. Who's the other Liverpool one? Paisley? Who was it? Was it Paisley? I don't know. It's like I'm talking to avoid him.
I hope you're asking me rhetorically, because I have no idea.
No, I do not know anything about Liverpool's history.
And then
Josh doesn't even know what a CD player is, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, and then what you had
that young.
What you then had was someone like Brian Clough, who was a proper personality, where he and it was like what he did was unbelievable with Nottingham Forest. So Johnny, can you imagine Nottingham Forest of today, because that's what they were, Nottingham Forest of today winning the Champions League 2 times in a row? Imagine getting into the top 4, and then the next season and the season after that winning the Champions League. And they did it with a manager who was a sort of workman's like Ange. Do you know what I mean? He was like that. He had very dry sense of humour. He would tell people how it was. And after that was when people started to take notice of the manager. And then you had people like Sir Alex Ferguson come along, and even Arsene Wenger. And so managers, as the guy said, it wasn't just the spotlight now was on them a lot more than it was.
Yeah, yeah, and I think in just like I previously said, it's not bringing a big manager and you just start winning. I mean, we've tried that twice now. We had grand success with that. So it's not just get a big manager and things start clicking. It's not just get good players and things start clicking. That doesn't work either. So it's really it's the energy between all the connecting pieces. It's like building a house. You could have a great roof but no fucking doors. You could have great doors and no fucking walls. Like it's everything.
Yeah, great doors and no walls. I'd love to see that.
That's right.
Standalone doors.
It's magic. In my fairy tale land, let me exist, would you please?
American fantasist.
So as Josh, like when he talks about the running order, so point number 2, what's going wrong? I think we sort of, I don't think we've covered it completely. I want to say a few things there, but then why is our defence so useless? We'll get onto that. Thing is, what's going wrong? Why did we add that to the running order? Because it seems as though Armageddon came, World War III was here, Hannah's children haven't eaten for 4 weeks, and everyone's dying. Yeah, okay, that's not one. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I mean, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like the guy's been here not that long. I suppose you can say, yeah, but Gary O'Neill started just a few days before the season, and it's one of those things. Do you know what I mean? Gary O'Neill really wasn't missing 2 of what I would say were his most influential players. When you're missing 1, it's bad enough, but 2, you're talking about both flanks and then also midfielders gone in one game. It's like losing 4 players, right? Am I right in saying that? Mm-hmm. So Gary O'Neill didn't have that. I think maybe we need to just take a bit of a breather.
Calm our tits.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And that's what we need to do, because if you were one of these people that was like, Ange out, and then he joined and you were really happy, and now you're Ange out again.
You're just fickle. You deserve everything.
Yeah, well done. That's exactly right? You deserve everything you're feeling right now. I'm so happy for you. Do you know what I mean? And maybe we just have to realise, what was it like on the day? What tools were we missing? Oh, yeah, we were missing those. That's what happened. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, defence. We have played, I'm looking at the Premier League table here, we have played 25 games. So if I open up a calculator here, let's do some simple maths. It's actually math. I can't believe the Americans got this one right. I looked into it. It is actually math, not
I will never
maths.
use that word, though.
I know, but you can't really say, let's do some simple maths, can you? It sounds wrong.
I can, and I will.
No, yeah, but I know, so did I. But then when you find out that, oh God, it actually is math and not maths.
I'm not taking, literacy lessons from people who say aluminum.
Or fossil.
I know, right? It's crazy. Aluminium. I go rinse my aluminium under my tap. I get it. I agree.
But it's the way that Americans, they have to give everything. The way they name things is so they don't forget what it does. Like the sidewalk.
Right.
On the side.
Eyeglasses.
The waste paper basket.
It's big,
right?
It's big.
They have to tell themselves.
That's why it took me weeks to remind myself that your name was Josh and not Cum Dumpster.
Oh, God.
Oh. It's done, yeah.
He's been waiting for that. He's had that in a little booklet lined up. And you saw me tear
Spotify
up.
wouldn't cancel us, that would be the name of this episode.
No, we can call it cum dumpster, I think.
Just spell it C-O-M-E.
Yeah, exactly. Cum dumpster, there you go.
Oh my god, you spelled it the same as us, Johnny. You're right.
Teed you up so perfectly there as well.
That's a different spelling of the same word, though. Hannah, come on now.
Come on now.
Come.
I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
God.
Right, so here we go. Let's get the calculator out and let's do some math. We have played 25 games, right? And we have conceded, I'm looking at the Premier League table here, we have conceded goals against 38. 38 divided by 25 is over 1.5 goals a game. Oh dear. Why? Why? Like, do you know, there is something that I'm going to nick off a podcast, I can't remember which one it was. It's not the fact that we're conceding 1 goal. Most games we're conceding 2. And this is a problem. Right? And if we just go through the fixtures, so let's go from, where should we start from? December or January? Okay, so I'm gonna.
I don't think it matters.
So let's just say, so from December all the way to the end of January, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, and we didn't concede 2 or less goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's half the games. That's
the style of football we play it's very kamikaze, isn't it?
But but do you believe that that's the reason? You believe that we're out to do an Aussie RD list, but so we have to score more than. No, Ange isn't like that. I can't. I don't want to believe that Ange is the type of manager who says to the guys, listen, if they score 2, we have to score 3. He's not. He's a lot more articulate than that.
No, I mean, if you look at the beginning of the season, we were scoring. And we were keeping clean sheets earlier on in the beginning, but then the squad had been settled then, if you know what I mean, like the back 4. Whereas, obviously, since Thanos clicked his fingers on that Chelsea game and we've been decimated, it's just been... There's only been a few times we've actually had the entire back 4 settled. And then when they do, obviously, Van der Ven's coming back, he's got a flaky hamstring at the moment, so... He's obviously not up to speed. Romero's obviously had games out, what with his disciplinary record, etc. I think he had an injury 2, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then obviously Porro, Adogi, they've had time out as well. So it's not like before all of them started obviously disappearing and then coming back, we were doing fine. I think it's just the fact that they've all come back different times and
it's
sort of yeah, exactly. Yeah, the flow has been stopped and it's gone off in different directions because they've had to obviously play with other people, and then
we've only had 5 clean sheets in the Premier League this year,
and they're probably all generally early on. I think, weren't they? So was it Man United,
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth,
Luton, Fulham, and Nottingham Forest.
You know what? Can I say something? So what, Josh? What you've said there, you sort of hit the nail on the head because what you've done is I've given you a stat and then you've thrown context at it, and so I'm going to throw some more stats at you, right?
And I've got more context actually to add to why we conceded so many goals.
All right, one second. I'm going to let me just say this, and then I'll go on. Then go on, say what you need to say, and then we'll.
It was only one thing.
No,
it was only obviously how many games did we play with 4 fullbacks?
Yeah.
As a back line.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously you're going to leak goals there, aren't you?
100%. So I'm going to read some more stats to you. If you take a look at the Spurs Wolves stats, so possession, 71% Spurs, 29% Wolves. In that 29% that they had, would you say that 100% of every time they went forward, you thought they were going to score, especially in that second half?
Mm-hmm.
I did. I don't know what it was like in the stadium, guys, but I felt that every time they went forward, I thought, "Oh shit, here we go again."
They always seem to have so much space in behind. They went behind, obviously Royale and Davies, and they would just always expect Romero or Van der Ven to do the covering for them, whereas like Neto had so much space to run into constantly. It was ridiculous. Just the amount of Don't. Just keep going.
Right, so total shots, Spurs 15, Wolves 12. Again, I mean, for me, who cares if the shortest man on the pitch manages to score a header? I mean, I think that what's happening there is we've just gone all in on trying to protect Vicario. We've forgotten to mark midgets. And that's what happened. Shots on target, they beat us here on the stats, so 7-4. Big chances, they had 3, we had 2. Accurate passes, we had, 664 compared to the 214. Corners, we had 10, they had 4, but you know who cares, because the main stat is that we lost 2-1.
That passes stat is so skewed because we were just fucking about.
Sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it's so frustrating. I don't know what we're doing. We get to outside their box and we just piss about. I don't know. We don't.
It's frustrating as Doggy can be, or has been the past couple matches. I think he's one of the primary people to push it forward, and him and Porro, to be honest with you. They're the ones that push it forward the most, I think, and that's the thing is, the keys we're missing.
There's some of our forward players. They want it played forward. Like the amount of times Werner has tried to run through their defensive line. The amount of times his run was perfect, and whoever had the ball just looked at him and then thought, "Nah, just give it to a player next to him." And Werner would have been through countless times, and people obviously jumping on Werner's back, saying, "Oh, he's useless, he's shit." But we're not giving him the chance to do what you need to do because we're just ignoring him.
It's literally what he's there for. We're not utilising him.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that a lot of the team aren't. They're not in form, are they? Like Sonny,
he looks shattered.
He does, doesn't he?
To be honest, Maddison looks shattered as well. He doesn't look like he's fully fit.
But darling, he's been out for 3 months. So it's not like our jobs, right? So we imagine if we were out for 3 months. Just say you got hit by, I don't know, Johnny. Sorry, not Johnny. Josh did what he set out to do, and he tried to, run over all the kids in your school, especially your two, and you jumped in the way, and he ran you over, and you're out for 3 months. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you don't starve them to death, then it's just say, right, so he runs you over, and after 3 months, you go back to the office. You're going to, it might be a bit difficult, but you'll get there. Madison was out the longest time he's ever been out in an injury.
It's not a criticism.
And he's, no, I know it's not, but there's a lot of people who are saying it though. But he has to run around, it's not like he's sat in an office at his desk saying, I want to do this now. I want to, it's not like that. The guy has to run around. It's going to take him time. Bentancur, I think it's going to take him until next season. And I just think there's a lot of players who aren't in form. Yeah, can Ange tweak some things? You know what? I believe that he's trying. I believe that he's tweaking it within the limits of and the parameters of the players that he has. But we're not yet near an Ange team. I think that we need some more players, right? I mean, that's what I believe. So why is our defence useless? Well, it's useless because we had 2 fullbacks missing and 2 midfielders who are the fullbacks. And I think that when you have, Josh, you said at the beginning, when you have like Emerson Royale coming in and doing what he was doing, what did he do? Did he do a?
Don't.
No, there's this one bit right where Emerson's pushed forward, like he's meant to do. To be fair, in the system, he's pushed forward. And the ball's gone in behind him. So Romero's come back he's won it was Van der Ven, I think. Come back into space, won the ball, cleared it all up, passed it to Romero, who passed it to Royale, where it's safe. And then Royale just dilly-dallies. He just dribbles, he's outside our box, probably about 5-10 yards outside the box, just going in circles. And then he gets the ball pinched off of him, and then I think they got a corner out of it. I don't know what happened. But it's just, I don't know what he was doing. Like, he had so much space to run into. He could have passed it off to someone else, but he was I don't know what happened.
He was teeing himself up for his combination.
He absolutely was, and that fucked me off so bad.
Because wasn't there that one bit as well? He did that step over, and everyone just laughed at him.
That was for the comp.
Yeah.
But everybody else has to work so much fucking harder when he's doing that.
And then there was, for their second goal, everyone's lumping in on Basuma here, but I blame Emerson more than Basuma. Because everyone's saying, Basuma lost the ball. But he's in their box.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's in their box, crowded by about 3-4 players, and I'm sorry, but if you lose the ball in their box, you shouldn't suddenly panic that they're going to concede whilst you're literally pretty much in their goal mouth.
On the
And
other
then
fucking end of the pitch.
yeah, the ball rolls under Sarr's foot, who, if you're blaming Basuma, why are you blaming Sarr? He seemed to have escaped all criticism there. And then Neto gets it. He has our entire half at his mercy, and Emerson just jogs back, watching him as he sprints into our box. And then by the time he gets to our box, that's when Emerson decides to close him down. I'm literally there saying, close him down. Well, what are you doing? You're watching him sprint towards our goal, and you're doing nothing about it. Yeah. But yeah, everyone decided to blame Basuma, who, like I said, was crowded by about 3 players in their box.
So look, I think that this leads us on to the next thing. It's an important question. We actually asked this one, not from our listeners. When was the last great game you saw us play? Now, before we started recording, Josh hit it right on the head, so we won't go to that one yet. Johnny, can you remember the last great game that you saw us play when you went, wow?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, the oh, Jesus.
Do you want to take a look at the fixtures, or do you want me to give
That's
you a
what I'm
clue?
doing right now.
I'll give you a hint. It wasn't this year.
Probably
It's the home place of the hit TV show Geordie Shore.
Newcastle.
Yeah, you remember that game, right?
As well.
Newcastle or Forest, one of those two. Forest was boring, I remember that, but it was a little bit, it was 2-0. Yeah, Newcastle 4-1.
When was that? What was the date?
That was 12/10. I'm sorry, December 10th.
Yes, thank you. Don't do that. You just said it backwards. I mean,
I know, that's why I said December 10th, so fuck off, everybody.
Wow.
My autism took an absolute hammering then.
I've got to hit now. Thanks, Johnny.
2 months and 1 week and a bit ago, right? So, yeah, what can I say? I mean, when do you think the next... I'm looking at the fixtures here. Don't know if you guys have them open. I know Johnny does. When do you think the next game that we're going to say wow again is going to be? Because we don't have Crystal Palace for 2 weeks. 2nd of March we've got them.
They're a new manager bounced as well.
Yeah, most probably, right? And Glasgow plays good football, right? We've then got Aston Villa away. I'm not looking forward to that one. Fulham away, not looking forward to it. Maybe against Luton, but Luton on the 30th of March might be fighting for their,
Yeah, I don't think we should get too cocky about that one, to be honest.
Well, I don't reckon until Forest at home, possibly. Because West Ham, yes, they are complete fucking dog arse. But they see Tottenham and they suddenly turn into prime Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only game of the season they will ever pick themselves up for is Tottenham home or away. Otherwise, they'll be shit for the other 36 games.
I know when I've got a feeling. I can actually tell you the exact date of when I'm looking forward to the next WoW game. It's Sunday, the 11th of August. It will be our first home game of next season. I believe that then we will have a WoW, because I don't know where we're going to have another WoW game right now, because the form has sort of dipped a lot, and I don't know. I'm looking at the fixtures right now, and I don't really have...
13th of April to the 4th of May is disgusting.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to read them out?
No, they're going to stick that postponed Chelsea game in there somewhere.
Oh, cool. They're going to have to, right?
That will ruin us.
They're going to have to. So 13th, Newcastle Spurs. 20th, Spurs City. 27th, Tottenham Arsenal. I guarantee between the 20th and the 27th, you will have the Chelsea game. Yeah, you will. You'll have the Chelsea game. And how funny would it be if Pochettino won a trophy, Chelsea?
Can you?
Because Liverpool's players are dropping like flies as well.
Yeah, but that's a little way away, isn't it? Like that's. I don't think.
It's
next week. Next week, darling. What do you mean? Way away?
Sorry. I thought you meant I thought you were talking about the fixtures at the end of the season.
No, we're talking about Pochettino winning a trophy before. Anyway. Right. Do we have any more questions? Let's go to Twitter. We do. We've got one from George. Do you want to read it out, Hannah?
George. Is it on? There it is, isn't it? I know where to find it.
But I don't think we can watch the video, not on the pod.
No, we're not going to do that.
You can read the first bit.
Okay. If we fail to beat Palace, who's the most likely scapegoat between A, South Koreans, B, guy in Kulisevsky's sexy shirt, C, people that don't have purple and gold in their name on Twitter. Also, who from the podcast is best placed to take on this guy to get that Bird's Eye sponsorship? And it is a man speed munching his way through 100 fish fingers in under 15 minutes. There you go. There's a lot to take in there.
Well,
there is. There needs a lot of dissecting.
I think, well, if we do the fish fingers thing first, okay. Hannah, if you were to sit on them, you could probably take them all up in about 3 or 4 seconds.
Is there something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. Like, retract that.
I think even James thought, as you're saying it, you're thinking, what am I doing?
I was actually considering if it would actually be possible, but I've just seen
the pile. I know you were.
And that pile is
just
probably
seen the pile.
As tall as I am.
You might, after ingesting that, you might have some piles. But, it's like a Jenga tower.
Organs.
It's a Jenga tower of fish fingers, and
I genuinely think that would come up to at least my neck.
Oh yeah, of course it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nearly as tall as you.
But it is. But we actually do need to answer the question, because I don't think I could speed munch my way through them.
Can we make them into a fish finger sandwich, maybe? Like
what, in 15 minutes? You got to do it in under 15 minutes, mate.
Oh, is there a time limit? Oh,
yeah. 100.
You have to smash. You have to mush them all up and make them into a smoothie, wouldn't you?
No, you've got 15 minutes, babe. You ain't
No. I've got a NutriBullet, right? I've actually got 2.
Of course you do.
So we could.
To be fair, I've got one.
We could. So if me and Josh put like 3 NutriBullets together, throw 33 in each one, and Josh takes 34. We put some milk in there, and then turn them on.
Just put tartar in there instead.
Tartar, yeah, there you go. Tartar in there instead, and then what we do is, maybe we could. No,
we have to get like one of those
I think
a hose pipe to go through past our tongues.
Yeah,
so that we can drink it without tasting it.
This is like human centipede fish finger style, I think.
This is just Josh's fantasies playing out.
I think we've looked into this well too much. I mean, it's just a part of the fish fingers.
It's not a pile, is it? That's a big.
It's a tower.
That's a tower.
Yeah.
Don't let Johnny get anywhere near a tower. He'll get PTSD.
No.
As soon as it collapses, that's it.
The world has changed forever.
We're wondering why we're losing American listeners.
Yeah, no shit.
So sorry, America.
No, we're not wondering. It's Josh. That's why
it's
we're losing them because of Josh.
Yeah, I mean, not only are you guys gonna probably have Trump again as your president, but we have Josh on the podcast, and that's
sake.
yeah, and I mean. By the way, I don't fully understand the question. I've read it 3 times, and I've heard you read it as well.
Okay.
What's he trying to say? I've had a long day, by the way. I'm a bit hungover. I didn't tell anyone this. Yeah.
Our fan base do like a scapegoat, right?
Yeah, they always have.
We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. So obviously, there's been a lot of furore about the amount of South Korean fans that were at the game on Saturday.
That was actually an issue?
I didn't. It wasn't. I don't think it was an issue per se for people actually at the game. I'm not sure, but it was that they were blamed for the poor atmosphere.
Hold on a minute. How many are we talking about?
To be fair, there was a lot more than usual, purely because obviously it's not only Son, but Hwang was there as well. Hence why there were so many.
But what are we talking about? What are we talking about? 1,000? What?
I couldn't
way
tell
more.
You.
Way more than 1,000? Really?
Oh, I mean, there's probably more than 1,000 on a normal day.
Okay, so at matches in South Korea, do they just sit on their hands and not cheer or anything?
Have you ever seen a BTS concert? Like, those people can go. Like, I don't think they're necessarily.
If anything, they're probably more passionate about things that they love than we are.
That's it.
Yeah,
and they probably don't moan. Like, I mean,
right.
they're the perfect Spurs fan.
They're just having a good time.
Yeah,
having a good
apart
time.
Apart from North Korea, I mean it's a bit different.
Let's be honest. There's an aspect of racism in there, correct? Let's just throw it out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
There is. Of course there is.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, if it
yeah.
wasn't for like foreign fans, like the Premier League wouldn't be what it is today. It's because of them.
You're welcome, Joshua. You're welcome.
It's the influx.
Football is global, isn't it? And that is the
exactly.
of it. So, yeah, I think we should probably embrace that more than anything. But anyway, so essentially the essence of the question is
Right. No, I understand it. So I couldn't understand the South Koreans. I thought, he put a typo in there? Is he talking about Hwang and Son? That's what I couldn't understand.
No, the actual fans who.
Right.
Someone on Twitter put a picture up because there's like a corner where it's about. Well, I don't know, there's a big old group of South Koreans, wasn't there? And then everyone was just going in on this picture, basically.
Yeah,
what a bunch of farrages, honestly.
Obviously, there was
Yes.
the Korean link to this game, yeah. But I go to most home games, and I can't honestly say that the atmosphere is spot on every game. So you can't pin those occasions on the fact that it was the Koreans. Do you know what I mean? I think that's so...
Mate, I'll tell you what, you're so right, okay? So, there's a lot of people, whenever the atmosphere is not great, they go, back when it was White Hart Lane, only 36,000, the atmosphere was great. Fuck off. I went a lot of times. Like, when I lived in England, I was going all the time when I could. And then I used to fly over a lot just to go to the old White Hart Lane, and I can guarantee it was not great. There were times when I couldn't believe it. I was trying to get songs going. I was looking like an idiot. No, it wasn't. This revisionism that's going on is really starting to bother me. But
Yeah.
But one of the funny things is, these people saying that the atmosphere is crap are sat behind their phone, watching it on telly, saying that people in the stadium shouldn't be there.
That's
whilst
it.
they're sat at home, not there themselves.
But I will happily say that the atmosphere was crap, but I also know that when I do go, I am pretty vocal. So that I can complain about that. But I don't know, like you said, Josh, I don't know, a lot of these people, they don't necessarily go to games. And if they do go to games, they're just sat there on their phones moaning about the game that they're at. It's just very odd. I don't know.
I don't know. Every time if I go to a game, I'll take my phone out to take a few pictures, and that's it. I'm not gonna be on my phone during the game. Do you know, I can't. I mean, for me, going to Spurs right now, as I don't live in the country, it's gold dust. I'm not, Anyway, that's for me. Other people do what they want. Explain the Kulusevski shirt. What's that all about?
There was a photograph going around of a guy wearing a sexy shirt. Sorry, Kulusevski. I can't say that. And I think the joke is that Kulusevski had actually signed the shirt, and the shirt was from a season before we'd actually signed him. But yeah, that's another scapegoat for us because we're a joking fan base apparently. And also people that don't have purple and gold in their name.
I can answer this.
It's
all of the above.
Yeah,
it's all of the
everything.
above because it's a lot more, and it's because people are just fucking fickle. They don't use. There's so many people that don't know what critical thinking is. It could become a human being, walk up to them, slap them in the face, and they wouldn't know what hit them. And I'm so sick and tired of this. I don't know. The older I get, I see things for what they are. Johnny, I think you're the same. Josh, you definitely are. Hannah, you're getting there, right? And
I'm older than Josh.
You know what I mean. I thought you were 28. Really? Are you confirming that you're really older than
I'll
Josh?
embrace it. It's fine.
Right. And so
She's 42.
Well, she looks great for 42.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness me.
See,
Wow.
that backfired, didn't it, Josh?
But do you know what I mean? It's like you need. It's like just look at yourself. Honestly, just look at yourself, and it's like these fans. I hate even calling them that. They will look at everything. Oh, he gets paid this much money, therefore he needs to be superhuman. Or Daniel Levy hasn't spent 600 million in the last 5 minutes. He should leave. Or the Koreans are the ones causing this. Really? And then someone in a Kulusevski t-shirt. Oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly, grow up. Just do one and support your team. If you want to call yourself a supporter, It's so boring, honestly. I'm sorry, George, that we've answered your question in this way.
I think he's highlighted a few things, though.
No, he has.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should maybe ask George to come on the show.
Possibly.
As a guest.
Yeah, why not?
George,
he's pretty creative, isn't he?
He's very creative. He sort of sounds... I mean, can you imagine if he's like a 14-year-old girl?
Can we have him... Let's have him do... he has to eat at least like 30 fish fingers in like 30 seconds or something to come on the show.
Well, we should back himself, right?
He has to pay penance of some sort.
Yeah. Bring the George on when we're all on using the webcams, and then throughout the entire podcast, he has to be eating fish fingers.
Yep.
And sitting on them.
Okay.
It's not really fair that I get like pelted with these things, is it? If we're going to have him on, he's got to back himself.
It's because you have an innie and we have an outie, I'm sorry to say.
That's what you think.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my.
My unique selling point.
Do we have any more questions? Because
moving on.
Because there is one. Oh, hold on. Ethan says at THFCMEM28, who's on the wing?
That would be Dejan Kulusevski. The Victoria line fucking hated us that evening, by the way.
Hold on, is this the Ethan that I know?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, we all went out
hi,
after.
Ethan.
When I say we, Josh bowed out. He went home.
Well, I don't have to travel 10 minutes to get home. I've got to go halfway down the country. But actually to the bottom of the country.
Wow, okay. Thanks for that. But anyway, we all went out. And yeah, the vibes were there regardless of the... I don't know, like Josh, me and you were saying that on the way to the pub after, we were kind of already over it. Like Conte Ball had primed us for this. So that happened. And just...
The last 18 months of Pochettino, Jose Mourinho and Conte has literally numbed us to this pain. By the time we were just off the grounds of the stadium, we're like, fine. Don't care anymore.
But that's what makes it a beautiful sport, and us good supporters is that, you know, we can still support the club without blaming a group of Koreans, a guy in a shirt, or somebody who doesn't have the right colors on their Twitter handle, right?
No, the trauma that we had been through already, has served us.
We're basically beaten children. Do we want to take the belt buckle or the hammer? We take the belt buckle because fuck him. That's why.
You've been watching Good Will Hunting, haven't you?
You got it, buddy.
Yeah, what a great film.
I've never seen that film.
Oh, you got to watch it. Take Hannah out on a date and watch it in the back of your car.
Wait.
Hey. So 2 weeks off. New manager bounce, Crystal Palace. You know what's going to happen. We'll cover that in another pod. We're talking about Crystal Palace right now. And apparently we're going to have like an indoor game. Spurs versus Spurs. I guarantee we're going to get 3 injuries.
Romero's going to slam through.
Romero's going to slide tackle himself. And I can see that happening. Apparently they're not going to go away from warm weather training. They're going to stay here and work really hard. Kulusevski sort of said this in the post-match interview where he said, they're really looking forward to it. It just sounds like he's brown-nosing to me. But yeah, this is... I don't know, there's sort of like a lot of stuff that needs to be said, I think, between the guys. Maybe some team bonding. Maybe they'll go out for a meal and they'll just say, let's have it out, It's not just about the seniority or the senior guys in the squad. All of us, just put your hand up. What do you think is going wrong? How can we get better? What can we do? Do you know what I mean? And I think they need to do that. I think that they just need to have a chat and just be frank with themselves. There's a lot of young kids, like young people in this squad. Let's not forget, like Saar, what is he, 21?
Yeah.
Udogi, 20, 21. Even Kulusevski, even though he's a man-child, isn't he? He's 23, but he looks like he's 38.
He has not aged well, has he?
No, not. I tell you what, have you not seen The Burbs with Tom Hanks?
Love that movie.
No.
Don't you think Kulusevski looks like Hans? Do you remember Hans?
It never dawned on me. That's great.
He does, right? I saw it recently. We can download loads of stuff illegally in Cyprus, which is great. And so the Burbs, I saw like a trailer of it on Sky or something. So I'll download that. I haven't watched it in years. And then Kulusevski shows up. He's called Hans in this film. You got to watch it, guys.
What film is it?
The Burbs with Tom Hanks. It's a great film. It was before any of you two were born, I think.
It was
What year did it come out?
88 or 89, yeah.
God.
Wow, look at that. But it's a great film, right? And so Hans needs to, they all need to just talk about it and get it out in the open and sort themselves out, right? Because at
Oh
the
my
end of
god,
the day,
I've just googled that. You guys are so harsh, but yeah, that's actually quite accurate.
it is Kulusevski, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's so
There you go.
funny.
Yeah. By the way, have any of you listeners, before we talk about the 2 weeks off a bit more, have any of you managed to watch Terrorhawks? Even mentioning it bothers me.
No, because it scares me. Because of
Right.
Bothers you.
Johnny, did you listen to the last pod?
I
Just
did.
say yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I did. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, though.
Remember the bit when we talked about... This is really awkward if you haven't actually listened to it. The bit when we talked about...
I'll listen. I'll listen. I'll re-listen.
All right. So when we were kids, was there anything that scared us? And I mentioned Terrorhawks. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Did Terrorhawks, was that available in the US?
I've never heard of it. So if it was, I don't remember.
Do a quick Google. Johnny.
Oh God, just
Freaks me right out.
doing it now. Terror
They don't
Hawks.
have Terror Hawks, they're Black Hawks.
Terra.
Black Hawk down.
I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. Black Hawks are fantastic helicopters.
Terra Hawks.
Christ.
You've seen the film Black Hawk Down? That's fantastic.
TERRAHAWKS.
Yeah.
1980s British sci-fi television.
Just do images. Click on Google Images and you'll see what I'm talking about. And if that doesn't bother you, then you're definitely
Jesus
American.
Christ.
Oh, that's all right. Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't watch that.
Oh, it's awful for kids. And yeah, anyway. 2 weeks off. I think we've covered it, unless you lot want to say anything else about it.
No. I think it's a good
No.
time.
Hopefully, I mean, Udogi back. Do we know how long Poro's out for?
We don't know, no. He could not be back for Palace, apparently.
I know Udogi will be. It's just, I'd rather have, because of the way I saw Emerson and Davies play, I'd rather have Davies back instead of Emerson. So
I agree with that.
Look, I think that what needs to happen is, if you were to get rid of, look, I think Davies will probably stay, but next season, if you got rid of Emerson, maybe Skip, maybe, Højbjerg, Heel, that's 4 players. We could get 4 players who are better than them. I mean, it shows that we definitely need some cover for the fullback positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, they're not really fullbacks; they are midfielders pretending to be fullbacks. And,
It's not like you play Lo Celso at left back, though, is it? So
I did hear someone say, like, can't someone like Saar play at right back, or someone like Kulusevski, put him there?
do you remember when we put Son there in the FA Cup semi-final?
Yeah.
Christ, what a
Thanks.
car crash that was!
Why?
He did a penalty and just had an absolute
Yeah.
stinker, didn't he?
Do you remember when he did that sliding tackle? He's still going. He's not, hasn't stopped.
He slid down, and Moses hadn't even got to him by this point. So Moses literally just put the ball past him, and then thought, "Well, I'm going into this leg." So Son just literally said, "Go on, have a penalty, lad," and he ate it up.
Any other business before we wrap up and go over to Hannah?
Any comments on the comparisons between Bale and Saka on fucking Twitter?
Oh, don't.
What's that?
Have you not seen that?
Comparisons between Bale and Saka.
Because Saka's scored the same amount of goals as Bale now, hasn't he? Is he one more? I can't remember.
Goals in it. Yeah, he's won more goals and assists in roughly the same games. Saka's got 159 games, 76 goals. Bale's got 166 games,
Gale?
75. I'm tired. Give me a break.
6-year-old woman from Manchester.
All right, you got me there. Yeah.
Manchester.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so wow, Bukayo Saka has more Premier League goal contributions in less games than Gareth Bale. World class. I won't
And
say
this
it
is
again.
where context is important.
Oh no, this is so terrible.
So lazy.
now.arsenal. But
this is the problem with Arsenal fans and why a majority of fan bases hate them. Because of the way they rate their players. Like, they generally would not swap a single player for anyone. Like, did you see during the week, they were saying about how they wouldn't want Mbappe because they've got Saka.
Yeah,
like...
but there's some great comebacks. So listen to this, right? So Football Confidential, which I don't really rate, but they said something really funny. So in response to, like, Saka has more Premier League involvements. They've said, well, Gareth Bale has more Champions League winners' medals than Bukayo Saka has won games in the Champions League.
That's brilliant.
And then they say embarrassing club, embarrassing fans, which is really funny. Yeah. So, oh God, Arsenal fans, they're just... I've said this before, like Flav said it, we deserve better rivals. People who are at least at the level of our worst fans, they're below that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I support, I can't. Look, by the way, there's many things that I don't want to picture, but let's say if I have to think about it, like if I just woke up tomorrow and I was a woman, for instance, I can't picture waking up and being an Arsenal fan. I can't. Like, I'll tell you why. Right, listen to this. When I was growing up, right, way back in the 80s. I had a problem with the name Arsenal. So my brother's dad, who was living with us at the time, and my brother were Spurs fans, and maybe that's why I always said I was a Spurs fan. I wasn't really involved in football when I was a kid. But I found it funny as like a 5 or 6 year old that people supported a team called Arse and all. I always found it weird. Like, why would you support a team called Arse and all? Because, growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, we couldn't swear or anything like that. But I could say Arse if I said Arsenal. And I found that funny. And it's not just Arse, it's an everything else. And that's who you support. And I always found it weird. And, it was like, when I started to get into football, it was like, no, I'm a Spurs fan. And then it hooked me, and that was it. What were you going to say, darling? You want to say that?
I was going to say that's what the kids say at school. They like my team. It's I wash my hands, I wash my face, I wash my arse and all.
That's actually great. But yeah, they're called Arsenal, and if you even translate it into Cypriot, I won't say it in Greek, but Cypriot, Golongeola. It's like arse and everything else. Why would you support a team that I don't get it? I can't. And you know what? Their fans are Arsenal. That's what they are. And I wish we had a better level of rival. Someone who was intelligent enough who would say, you know what? We're not going to say that Bukayo Saka has had more Premier League goal contributions. We're going to say something else about him. I mean, why? This is clearly done by someone who's like 13.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? When social media is bled into sport, it is the problem.
Yeah. But Arsenal fans are the most social media based club, I reckon. They literally everything they do is for social media. Like I said it last time on the pod, like you see when they win the North London derby, all their ex-players come running onto Twitter putting all these red circles, red squares, whereas ours don't. When we win the North London derby, we just get on with it.
You know what we are. We're a proper club, and I'll explain why. When Arsenal score a goal, and I love it. No, I mean I don't like it when they score a goal, but there's something they do at their ground, at that swamp. Do you know what I'm talking about? So the ball goes in the back of the net. Arsenal have just scored.
Flags?
Yes, it's so fucking corny, so cringy. It's like immediately the ball hits. I don't even know how they know. It's like there's a script. At this point, pick up, because they're big flags. They're not like little things. Right, the flags are far bigger than the person holding them, and it's like
it's not like a little flag. They're big.
They're proper flags, and the ball hasn't even hit the net yet, and those flags, and they're in unison as well. It's like they're a cheerleading club. They're fucking atrocious.
And how funny, by the way, is the Ashburton Army.
Who?
Don't.
Ashburton Army.
You don't know what that is.
Well, I know what Ashburton. No. I know what Ashburton Grove is. That's the actual name of their stadium, right? But I don't know what is it? Some sort of ultras? Is it some sort of
they've
ultras?
obviously watched like Lazio or something. Now they all think they're like a ultras fan group now, and they've got like they put in their Twitter bios AA because they're part of the Ashburton Army.
Fuck off!
It's so
God!
They're all about 13, 14 years old. Was it last season? The North London derby at our place. They turned up 20 minutes late with a police escort.
That's right.
There's someone in our. There's a Tottenham fan who, obviously, from some of the seats you can see out onto the high road. I think was it the high road? Anyway, it's a road around the stadium, and he's videoed the game, that the game's actually taken place. Everyone's in their seat, and it pans outside, and then you got the Ashburton Army coming down the street with the police around them. There's no one there to attack them because everyone's in the ground watching the game.
So bad.
Well, Hannah, over to you.
Over to me. So we are.
Can I just say something? You always seem like you're shocked at this point.
I am shocked.
It's like the 5th time.
I'm sorry.
5
Maybe
weeks
it's my
going.
shtick.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Oh,
It's
you've been
part.
counting?
I have,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I count everything. Part of
Okay.
ADHD. You know what I'm talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
We would love some more reviews, if that's at all possible. Doesn't trouble you too much. I don't know, what are we up to now? Have we checked?
Should
I
we
was just
check?
going to look.
Let's have a little looky look.
So the last time I checked,
We're at 24.
is that the same?
4
as last
stars.
time? 4 stars.
stars,
They're not
24.
bad. We need to get to 4.4. That's like when the algorithm really kicks off.
Okay.
But if we can get to like 30 reviews, so we have nearly 1,000 listeners a show, sort of, give or take, over let's say a 2-week period. If just 6 of you, actually, Hannah, this is your bit. What am I talking? Sorry, over to you.
Oh,
No,
do
that's
have
fine.
to
You wanna do the
apologise as well,
maths.
don't we? We did promise Billy was going to be on this week, but
We
technical
did.
issues.
Billy broke his charger. Let's just say it how it is.
And we have
that-
photographic evidence as well.
I
Is
do
that a
have
euphemism?
evidence. No, because he hasn't been on yet. No, he did. He broke his shoulder. So yeah, looking at next week now. No, sorry, James, if you want to do maths, I'm sorry, that's your thing. I literally
you
have
mean-
maths dyslexia, and you put me on the spot every time, and then I get overwhelmed.
Well, at 24, if you take 30 and you remove 24, you still don't know what it is, do you? So it's 6.
I only know because you said it earlier.
Okay, right, okay.
I'll send you a spreadsheet later today, Hannah, that
No,
explains
don't
it for
do
you.
that. Send me to a stroke.
It has a lot
Oh,
of math in it.
Ironically, I do that for my job, but I'm just coasting at this point, so hope no one listens. Anyway, 6 reviews is all we need. So, but do you know what's really annoying is I don't know about you guys, but I get all these really nice messages asking, like, when we're recording, people asking to come on, and they've had a bit of a shit week and they've listened, it's cheered them up. So if you guys leave a review, our algorithm kicks in. That would be really nice.
Yep.
But yeah, we do get some really nice messages. So
I don't get shit, let's be honest.
yeah, but you need to do your bit, Johnny.
What bit? What are you talking about?
You're literally in the other side of the world.
Whoa!
He did, didn't he? Wow. What bit?
Whoa!
What bit?
What bit?
What
All right,
bit?
mate. Chill out.
It's a West Ham fan.
What you need to do, Johnny, you need to get a QR code, print it off, and stick it on the horse. Was it the dog and pony wall?
That's
Get a QR code to the.
That's a good idea
pod.
right there.
I tell you what would be a better idea when I ask Kyle to pick up the fucking phone. So at least you get some. So at least you can get some free drinks. That's why I was calling, mate. That's
I
the
did.
only
I
reason.
remember that.
Right.
I remember that part of last week's pod.
Right,
I do remember that.
I
Part
mean,
of last
that was the
week's pod.
only thing I was trying to do, and it was like, no, don't you fucking pick up that phone.
He's literally gatekeeping America from us.
Terrified.
America is all mine. All mine. You leave your damn hands off America. God
Build
damn
that
it.
wall, Johnny.
Yeah. Build the wall. Don't want you foreigners in my land. Sons of bitches.
Buy me beer.
You miserable sons of bitches.
Before we go, can I just say, you do have the best leader in the world right now. Like, I saw...
Does he even know he's a leader?
And he doesn't know he's alive, but the thing... The funniest thing that I saw of last week, and I had to double check if it was real, and it is. So he basically said on TV that he had spoken to Sisi. This is the Egyptian. Oh God, this is the Egyptian president who died.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
you know what I'm about to say, right? And he said it was about the Gaza thing, and he said basically, I spoke to the Egyptian president, and he should open up his borders to Mexico.
Fuck.
Oh God, this is the leader of America.
Yeah.
Oh, he must support Arsenal.
He's got to.
And with that, we'll leave
Otherwise
you
Arse
guys.
with elbow.
Love you loads. Right, everyone say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Hannah.
Bye all.
Love you. Bye.